All right, we're about to check out the most expensive town on the Oregon coast. Stay tuned to learn more. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Clem with the Home Team Brokers coming to you from Arch Cape, Oregon today. So Arch Cape, yes, is the most expensive community on all of the Oregon coast. Now Arch Cape is a very, very small little unincorporated community. It's actually not even a town. So there's not a mayor, a city council, there's not like a local infrastructure. It's just an unincorporated community in Clatsop County. It's actually the southernmost community in Clatsop County being the northernmost county on the Oregon coast. So from Astoria, which is about 30-40 miles north, you get down into Seaside, then Cannon Beach, and then you get into Arch Cape. So this is a very, very popular, very sought after area. And I think driving around, it might be a little bit of a surprise that this is the most expensive area, but when you look at what is around it, 10 miles north, 10 miles south, there's a ton to offer here. Now, Arch Cape in and of itself has really nice, beautiful, quintessential beach cottages, some larger homes. I mean, the real estate is really nice in and of itself, but it's nothing incredibly spectacular as far as, being way, way bigger homes, for example, in Arch Cape. I think the median sale price being so high is really, again, going to reflect not just the community itself, but also what's around it. So to the north, you have Cannon Beach. Cannon Beach is arguably the most popular town on the Oregon coast. Definitely a favorite, has a little bit more of an upscale feel, a ton of great shopping, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, boutiques, art galleries, all the good stuff. Very accessible from Portland too. So you're just about 90 minutes from Portland to get out to this part of the Oregon coast. You go out Highway 26. At Highway 26, you can split, go north to Seaside or go south to Cannon Beach. And again, Cannon Beach is just about 4 miles north of here. Now south, maybe more like 7 or 8 miles, you have Manzanita. And Manzanita is another incredibly popular town, really has it all. I think when you think about that perfect little beach town, Manzanita and Cannon Beach are really going to check a ton of boxes for a lot of people. Manzanita and Cannon Beach tend to be on the higher end of prices when it comes to real estate on the Oregon coast. So this corridor through here from Cannon Beach to Manzanita really is the most expensive on the Oregon coast, but Arch Cape in particular, we're looking at right now a median sale price of over $1 million. All right, real quick before we go any further, if this is your first time to the channel or you've been here and you haven't already and you want to get more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. But this is always at the top of the list when you look at, again, median sale price to most expensive homes on the Oregon coast. And it's a really small community, so about 250, maybe 300 people live there as full-time residents. It's said that the population goes up to about 800, 900 people in the warmer months. So, there's a lot of second homes, a lot of vacation homes, a lot of people that will come out in the warmer months, and spend some time there. So that's a very popular thing to do all up and down the Oregon coast. Arch Cape for sure is no exception. It's pretty dense. I mean, you have most of the community being on the west side of Highway 101, and you have, just a handful of blocks where you have these houses built really kind of on top of each other. I mean, these aren't homes with big lots, big properties. There might be a few exceptions, but you have really in most of these homes spectacular ocean views. So you're right there on the beach. From most anywhere you live in Arch Cape, you can just walk, out your back door or across the street or just down a couple blocks to get down to the beach. Up on the east side of the highway, you're up on a hill a little bit, It's much less developed, but there are a few streets, and there are some homes up there as well. A little bit larger properties up there too. So you're in the trees, you're in the woods. You can maybe sneak some ocean views, but you can just walk, you know, again, right across the highway, get down to the beach, no problem. So, you know, the configuration, the layout, pretty typical for a little beachside community, just packing as many homes in there as possible. One thing I would really highlight though about Arch Cape is it is incredibly private. So there's no, you know, there's no restaurants, there's no shopping, there's no grocery store, there's no gas station, there's no reason for anybody to stop in town, you know. So of course it is right on the highway, obviously, you know, but you're not getting a ton of people stopping in. I think the people that are here in Arch Cape are going to be the people who are, you know, live here or are staying here. And there's certainly beach access, but there's no public parking. There's no big parking lots where, you know, people can come from anywhere and just access the beach. So the beach itself, you know, is going to be much quieter, much less foot traffic than a lot of other areas that you would get. Now, all of the beaches in Oregon are public. So these aren't private beaches, but when you have these access points that are so limited, you know, to the general public at least, it's going to feel a lot more like a private beach in a lot of ways. So for sure, the trade-off of not having really anything in the community as far as, you know, commercial development, you know, be it shopping, grocery store, etc., is that you're not going to have, you know, anybody coming in and out of the area. So it's going to feel very quiet, very private, very peaceful, very laid back. I think, you know, that's going to be super attractive for a lot of people. Now, we talked about Cannon Beach to the north and Manzanita to the south, two very, very great little towns, you know, by many measures. If you want to go out to a restaurant, if you want to just go walk around a town, check out some different beaches, these towns are going to be right there, very accessible. But you also have Seaside, you know, just north of Cannon Beach, which is a larger town, has a couple grocery stores, has more to do. You know, there's a lot of entertainment, like for kids, for example. But then north of there, you get into Warrenton and into Astoria, and that's where you have a Costco, a Walmart, you know. But Costco in particular is something that a ton of people ask about, and that's going to be your only Costco on the Oregon coast. So, you know, you're looking at, you know, probably about a 45-minute drive to get up there. So it's not like something you would necessarily want to do all the time. But obviously, if you're making a Costco run, it's not something you have to do weekly necessarily. And then you can get to like Seaside and get to the bigger grocery store without having to get all the way up into Warrenton, you know, that extra 10-15 minutes. Now, another great thing about this area is the natural green spaces, the state parks. I'm here at Hug Point right now. Pretty incredible. And then you have Oswald West State Park to the south of here. A lot of great hiking and trails and things around there. And then part of Oswald West, just on the south of it, before you get to Manzanita, you have Neahkahnie Mountain. And so this is definitely one of the most hiked peaks on this coastal range. I think it might be the highest peak, or at least it's one of them. For sure, it's just about the best place on the Oregon coast, you know, to hike to a viewpoint. And then you can look south and overlook Manzanita, but you have to make sure you go on a clear day like today. Otherwise, you're just looking straight into the clouds. But there's a ton of great beaches, and again, state parks in particular. So if you like to get out and do some hiking, enjoy nature, and have more opportunity or more options rather than just the beach itself, which is great. But if you want to get into the trees, into the woods, you know, do some hiking, climb some elevation, there's going to be a ton of great opportunities for that around here. So again, I think a lot of these elements that probably do contribute to this being the most expensive on the area on the Oregon coast are things that really appeal to a ton of people moving to the Oregon coast, for sure. I think to some degree, a lot of people that we work with that are moving to Oregon, moving to the Oregon coast from out of state, probably from a more populated area, want to be in an area that has more of a community, has more to do, has more convenience in terms of like shopping and other things, for example. Arch Cape isn't going to have that specifically. Now, again, you're very close to some very desirable communities in Arch Cape, you know, being Manzanita and Cannon Beach, just bordered to the south and to the north. But I think that Arch Cape probably is more so a second home, vacation home, or snowbird type area where somebody might, you know, visit there periodically throughout the year or live there for some duration of the year and then you know, go to a warmer climate once the weather starts turning. So if this is an area that sounds interesting, if you want to learn more about areas that are similar to Arch Cape, but maybe don't carry quite the price tag, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link down below in the description of the video and schedule a Zoom call with us. And on that call, we can talk about your priorities, you know, your budget, your timeline, what you're looking for in a house and a community, and start connecting the dots for you and really put together a game plan. Now, if this video is helpful, make sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and tap that little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. As always, we really appreciate you watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.